Today's news. Seoul mourns victim of Gangnam murder case.
Very recently, there was a man, 34-year-old gentleman named Mr. Kim, who, with a knife, murdered a 23-year-old girl at Gangnam Station, or in a building very, very close to Gangnam Station in a bathroom.
He did not know the woman. She was a complete stranger to him. He had schizophrenia. He wasn't taking his medication. He had been hospitalized like 3 or 4 times. His biggest complaint that he said was he'd always been ignored by women.
This was someone he didn't know?
This was someone he did not know.
Are you sure? But they were meeting for the first time. Like it was a scheduled meeting, correct?
It didn't say if it was a scheduled meeting or not in the article that I read. It just said that he was waiting in a bathroom, a unisex bathroom, for unknown reason with a knife. And when she showed up, he stabbed her.
So he basically pulled her in, or she opened up, and then he locked her in the bathroom and killed her that way? But he didn't know her at all? He was just like hiding in the bathroom?
Maybe he was hiding in the bathroom for a woman to walk in that he could kill.
I was under the impression that it was some sort of prearranged thing. He was going to meet her, and she showed up really, really late. Because she was late, he was more angry, and he killed her for that reason.
Nope.
The reason why we are covering this is because there's a lot of things going on here on top of what we just discussed. For instance, there has been an outpouring of angry citizens, mostly females, about the way women are treated when things like rape and murder happen. Also, this happened outside of Gangnam Station Exit 10, which we're both very familiar with. Gangnam went through an entire overhaul renovation, that station. Exit 10 is the old Exit 6. There only used to be 10 exits, now there's 14 or 16 or whatever. But if I remember correctly, Exit 10 is the most northwest going towards center of Seoul exit. And it's probably the most trafficked out of all the exits at Gangnam Station as well. If you want to see what Seoul looks like in comparison to, say, Manhattan, you go to Gangnam, you exit out of exit 10, and you walk straight. Some of the most expensive designer shops and restaurants are all along that promenade right there. So this is super high profile, not just that it was a brutal murder, but the location makes it so relatable. At least people can envision what the location looks like, because virtually everybody in Korea has been to Gangnam Exit 10.
They really have. It's a very popular place to be, and it's the most popular station in Korea. You know, if there's any sort of redeeming factor at all to this terrible, terrible happening, this terrible murder, then it is people are starting to wake up and take notice and say, hey, misogyny is bad. This is not okay. And this guy killed her just because she was a woman.
Can you explain what misogyny is?
Misogyny is, to put it very simply, it's like hatred of women.
Okay.
It's looking down on women. It's seeing them as second-class citizens or secondary. It's a whole attitude that demeans women.
Okay.
And so they're starting to say, hey, we've been having a lot of problems in Korea with misogyny, with not necessarily murders. This is a murder, but there have been rape crimes. There have been other sexual harassment crimes that have kind of gotten swept under the rug. And so they're just saying, this is not okay anymore.
In our personal experience, one of the good things about Korea is they are starting to enforce the rule of law in so many different scenarios. One of the downsides to this is it's still mostly men that are in charge of these laws or in charge of enforcing these laws. And so you're still seeing when women get raped, for instance, a woman going in and reporting it, and an officer or somebody who's in charge there trying to sweep it under the carpet like nothing happened, or trying to victim blame. You see a lot of that there. And so these are growing pains to a society that's very new to democratic ways. And some things are really, really good there, and some things are not being dealt with properly. And this treatment of women is one of them, for sure.
And it's not just Korea. I mean, this is because we're talking about Korea and this instance is happening in Korea. This is very prevalent here in the US. Actually, probably just as prevalent or more so than in South Korea. I feel that this topic still needs to be talked about, regardless whether it's happening in Korea or the US. This is just plain wrong, and I don't know, it just makes me really, really angry.
There really is so much more that we could discuss with this particular topic. We want to know your guys' thoughts. Let us know what your reaction to hearing about a murder in such a way that happened over there in such a public place that's known to everybody.
I'm just so upset that I can't even talk.
Click the like button. Thank you for supporting us. Don't forget to subscribe for more HallyuBack news. That's it. We're out of here. Hasta luego.
Bye.